In order to complete this assignment, there's a couple file types you'll need to find and download, and that's what I'll be showing you how to do. You'll need at least one digital elevation model, which looks something like this. Now, you don't have to do it, but in this example, I'm going to download two of these, which are side by side, because there's a very specific way that they need to be mosaiced or stitched together. And although it's not entirely required for this assignment, you may need to do it, and if not, it's just useful to know. The other file type that you'll need is a digital raster graphic of a USGS topographic map. Now on my desktop here, I've got a USGS topographic map in a Geo PDF, which is increasingly the format that you'll find these in. And I just want to go ahead and open this in Acrobat Reader because a lot of you have been seeing this message. So let me explain what's going on. Acrobat 9 and beyond has the ability to do some very basic analysis and measurement with Geo Pdfs, which is largely why they're becoming very popular. Now, different applications that create Geo Pdfs also have additional plugins, and that's all this is. So the company is saying, hey, there's some free plugins if you want to do even more stuff than just some basic measurements. So it's all right to do it. I'm not going to do it. Just to show what the built-in tool sets are, let me close that, show you where they're at in Acrobat Reader 9. If you click on Tools, go to Analysis, it's these two right here. So, this allows me to click any point on my map, and if there's embedded data, that'll show up. Typically, you'll see it more with shape files or vector-based files. That's why I'm not seeing anything. The other one is to see the latitude and longitude. As I clicked that, let me change my window here. This is stuff I've showed in class too, so yet another way to find longitude and latitude. As I move my cursor around, that value just changes. So that's what that is about. But what's interesting about this, and a very valuable point to this video, is Geo Pdfs are really good from a consumption standpoint, meaning anyone with the free Acrobat Reader can download these maps and make measurements. They're very popular with portable devices, whether it's Android or iOS from Apple. Different applications can load these and do very basic analysis, and if you happen to be on this map while you're carrying your iPhone, it'll show you where you are at. So very good from consumption, but not very good from a manipulation standpoint. That's where the problem lies. They're becoming so popular as a Geo PDF, they're getting harder to find as just a Geo TIFF. That's what I'd like to start with here. So there's three really excellent sources. Well, we'll call it two really excellent sources, both provided by the USGS. One is the Earth Explorer, and the other one is the National Map Viewer. Now, there's really sort of three because there's the new National Map Viewer, which the address is just viewer.nationalmap.gov, and there's the old National Map Viewer. I'm finding that not everything is on the new viewer, so the USGS is working to put all this data into one spot. But if you try to download, for example, the digital raster graphic, you're going to find it's only available either in the Geo PDF or not at all if you tried to find it from this map. But they're all good to explore, especially when you're first trying to collect data for any project you might be working on. So just be aware of those. I don't even know how to get to the old one. If you just Google National Map Viewer, I think it'll take you to this address. On the National Map Viewer, it's just viewer.nationalmap.gov. We don't need the /viewer part. It just takes you there. And the Earth Explorer, incidentally, these are eventually going to end up in one spot, I think, but right now they're not. But the Earth Explorer, even though the address looks a little weird up there, it's just Earth Explorer .usgs.gov, and I've got it right here. So if you go to that address, it just redirects you to this URL, but it's the same place. Now I was doing some searching earlier, so I'm just going to reset those and clear this. So here's the interface of the Earth Explorer, and this is the only one we'll be using for this particular example, so I'll close that. On the left-hand side, very common thing that you'll see with any of these is, you've got a list of data to choose from. This one is really nice because as you expand these, you can click on the little eye to give you a breakdown or a little bit more descriptive information about what exactly that thing is, that piece of data. So if you're not quite sure, that's very useful. Well, I'm not even sure what this button does. Nothing apparently. Oh, that little icon, I think, is a representative of what the file is. Somewhere I saw a legend around here, but oh, it's right there in front of me. Icon means selected data within the data sets can be downloaded at no charge, which is very nice. Some of these have a $sign, like I saw them here somewhere. One of these has the $sign, but that icon means they're free, which is good. Anyhow, the data we are interested in is the digital elevation. So let's expand that and go ahead and click this, as well as the digital maps. And underneath the digital maps, we want this DRG, which stands for Digital Raster Graphic. The SRTM is a satellite radar. Yep, there we go, satellite radar topography mission. Once those are selected, we need to tell it which area we want to search for. So there's two ways to do this. You can search for a specific point, which could just be a city or some identifiable point on the globe. So if I just did Los Alamos, and I did this to me before. I'm not looking for those, so sometimes you have to hit it twice. Yes, that's what I wanted. And I can see that it's identified it on the map. Or you can search for an area. The problem with this is it'll only allow you to download any maps that point is on top of, and it won't let you get the stuff that's next to it, like top or bottom or left or right. If you want to be able to do that, there's a little trick here that's pretty helpful, and it's right here, the Add Map to Selection option. Now, these websites are constantly changing, so if you check this in a month, that option will probably be either an icon or just moved around. Just be prepared for that. But what it allows you to do is you click it, it makes a big box, and if I zoom out, I can see the area that I want to search for. It's a little bit different in each one of these catalog viewers, but let's clear that. Let's zoom in. You might just need to do a little bit of trial and error to get the right size. If it's too far out, you're going to be overwhelmed with information. If it's too close, you're not going to get what you need. And that's important because I want you to find two of these digital raster graphics because we'll be stitching them together. All right, so there's Los Alamos. I don't want to search kind of this long, narrow thing, and just because that's the aspect ratio that I'm recording this at, let me make that smaller. And all that has accomplished is made my map area a little bit smaller and a little bit more reasonable. So now if I click on this Add Map to Selection, I can zoom out and see I'm just searching that box. It's a little kind of weird. I like the catalog viewers better where you can just drag a box, but I guess this one's got to be this way. So with that blue area selected, I can now click on Search. Now the computer's thinking here, and it's actually querying a very, very large set of geodata. And we're talking terabytes, if not exabytes of information. So this is not just a simple Google search. This is looking at some very, very large and graphic intense files. I can see that it's found the SRTM, which is my DEMs, and my digital raster graphic. It finds 8 of 8 for those, which is good. Now it's found more than 10 of the DRGs. If you click that little question mark, it's basically saying there's a lot of stuff there. So if you click OK, it's going to load them all. I won't do that. I'll just hope that I found the right area before I do that. Now the select on the side, you don't need to worry about that. That's only if you want to use one of these options down here, which, incidentally, I think you can only do this if you're logged in. My handle for this happens to be Plasmid. You need to register and sign in order to download these. So if you've been following along and you haven't done that, you'll need to do it sooner or later. Once you have one account, you can use it on any one of those USGS sites.